Hey guys, Shannions here, and we're playing The Beginner's Guide.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide.
You are welcome.
My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011.
Okay.
We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
You can walk around here, by the way.
Okay.
And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is.
Okay.
And that's exactly what we're going to do here.
Okay.
So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, you know, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveyWreden@gmail.com.
So personal.
Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game.
Okay.
As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Ooh. So different already. Warning.
Warning.
Whoa.
Machine active. Ship destruction imminent.
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
Okay. Should we go the fiery way? Let's go the fiery way. Oh, fiery way is blocked by blocks. There's no crosshair. It's very interesting. I'm guessing the ship is Whisper? Only one way to go. Ooh. Ooh.
Security hull breached. Hostile alien life form inbound.
No! No, no. No.
It kind of looks like
No.
this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere. But then clearly there are no enemies anywhere.
No.
You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Sure.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin shield evacuation.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
I like it too. It's nice. What are these holes? Or dots? Hello?
Apparently, this space station has a labyrinth on it.
That makes sense.
Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
This is it, right?
You there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam.
Oh.
It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
I guess. I mean, I don't know myself very well. I just started as me just a couple minutes ago, and I didn't really have a chance to get to know me, but I think I could do that.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Oh? Ooh. Oh.
The beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions.
I'm excited.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
Okay. Bye-bye. Ooh. We were in space, now we're in a brick sealed-in area.
Yup. In this game, you can only walk backwards.
I was wondering why I couldn't move. Oh, ooh, crafty. The past was behind her. Okay, this is so weird. Wait, hold on. There's like empty space in between the floor and the walls. So I don't think this is supposed to be a real place.
So it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Coda's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
Ooh, wow. Okay, that's really cool. Because that hallway wasn't there, that wall wasn't there. So I go and I can't see the future, but then when I hit a wall, I turn around. When she stops and looks, it becomes clearer. Whoa. Definitely not a real place. Okay. But if the future is always behind her, how will she find the strength to confront it?
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
Oh no! Oh, I don't like the dark. Oh, it's spoopy. Spoopy. Okay, I can't really move off of this path. Okay. You are now entering I hear tree noises, creaky trees. What am I entering?
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
Okay.
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games. I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
I don't know. Alright, Davy. What's up with this one? 3 pillars and a staircase? Got it. I can stairs. And stairs real good. What's that noise? I do not. Oh, I'm going slower. Oh,
Once you've been slowed to an
gosh.
absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens.
Yeah.
So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
Okay. Got it, Davy. What? It's a nice little room. What?
A room that's warm and nice and filled with little ideas for games.
Sharks are trying to eat
Coda
you.
would often tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
You are a gate. A series of lavish manuals come with the game. Oh, I wanted more time to read them. Ready, set, fish. These are all like giving me tingles. They have a certain ness to them, certain vibe of just kind of like a intimacy, I suppose. Where am I going? I can hear water and nature, but I'm inside a bunch of concrete.
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
Is it the lever? That's spoopiness in there. Okay, that's a wall. Door. Wall. Do I gotta close the door again? Can I solve the puzzle? I don't know. Okay. Solve the puzzle. Solve the puzzle. I am trying, Davy. Orange. There's a switch. Can't go backwards. Can't walk through the door. There's no invisible switches on the side. I can't go backwards through the door. Davy! Ahaha.
Alright, let me just walk you through it. You're gonna hit the switch on the outside to open the door, then hit the same switch and walk through the door before it closes.
I did that.
You'll see a second switch on the inside, which will open the second door.
Right.
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. You're
Okay.
gonna see it a lot.
I also remember these 3 dots. They're from Whisper. The Whisper game with the gun. And the self-sacrificing. Wait a second. That block doesn't look like the rest of the wall. Does it? See? Must be like a skin or something. I don't know. Hello. It's so nicely designed with the recessed lighting.
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Okay, Davy, please don't let it be scary. What the? What is all of that? There's so much.
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior.
Right.
And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
I don't know. Oh, we're back here. Alright. Still can't stray from the path. Oh, now I'm exiting. So strange.
Aha. So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a
Whoa.
bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in. Some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them.
You say
And
so.
once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
Okay. The Great and Lovely Descent. Whoa. I definitely feel like I'm on some, like, mental journey. Some spiritual questing of sort. This is rad. In terms of rad things, this is rad.
Let's talk about video game development for a second.
Okay.
Every video game runs on what's called an engine,
Yeah.
which determines what the game can and cannot do.
Sure.
So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
Yeah. Streetwise
To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source.
Uh-huh.
Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly.
Uh-huh.
One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors.
Uh-huh.
That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
Okay.
The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
I like the carpeting. Very retro. Okay. Interesting. Let's go. Let's descend this rabbit hole. Okay. Ooh, look at that nacho. Ooh. Ah! Alright. Coda. What are you trying to say? I don't know. Davy hasn't said anything in a while. What happens if I fall off? Do you think he says something? Oh, here we go. This is good. How far does this go down? Am I even going the right way? I don't know. Is there a light down there? I think so. Let's get to the light. What is that? What's that? What is that? Oh, I made it to a thing. Ooh, stairs? Could we have just fallen to the ground and have been fine? Interesting. What's that? What's this? Oh, it's glass. That's glass. Okay. Can I even get in there? Oh, that's the light. Okay. I see. That is also lots of light. What was that? What was that? What was that? What was that? Oh, I don't think these are supposed to be spoopy at all. But I nonetheless feel quite spooked. Oh, this is a jail. Oh, I'm very spooked. I'm very spooked. Oh gosh. Stop that! Hello? Ah! Oh gosh. Okay, this is definitely in Spookville now. I don't want to go in the jail cell. Oh, I can't escape? Of course not.
This prison,
Okay.
funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you in.
What?
If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
Okay. Oh, God.
This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else.
So sassy.
Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere.
Wow. Do we go down deeper? Well, we can't go that way or that way. Let's go deeper. Ooh, grass and outside? Okay. Well, we'll see how this ends next time. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you then. Bye-bye.